Paul Walker had always felt drawn to nature, perhaps because away from the bright lights of movie sets, a quiet forest or a rocky outcrop could remind him of life's basic truths. One weekend, he ventured deep into a remote wildlife park, known for its rugged cliffs and roaming predators. The crisp air, rich with pine and damp earth, offered an instant sense of freedom. He followed a winding trail that led past towering pines, the path gradually narrowing and becoming more challenging with every step. Ahead, he could see the silhouette of a rocky precipice, a place where few hikers dared to go. There, he hoped to find a panoramic view of the surrounding wilderness and perhaps a deeper understanding of himself. Little did he know that a life-changing encounter awaited him among those jagged stones. As he climbed higher, the forest fell eerily silent, save for the crunch of gravel beneath his boots. Suddenly, a distant haunting howl broke the hush, a sound raw with desperation. Paul froze, listening closely. It wasn't the proud call of a wolf greeting the moon. It sounded more like a cry for help. Cautiously, he pressed on, following the sound along a narrow ledge. The howling grew louder, tinged with fear. An uneasy feeling settled in his stomach. Something was clearly wrong. His heart pounded as he recalled warnings of treacherous drops and unstable rock formations in this part of the park. Yet the urge to help, to answer that forlorn cry, outweighed any caution he might have had. Rounding a sharp bend, Paul discovered a precarious scene. Amid jagged boulders, perched on a slim outcropping above a steep drop, lay a trapped wolf. Its hind leg was wedged between two rocks, and the poor creature was struggling to pull free. Each frantic twist threatened to send stones clattering into the abyss below. A surge of adrenaline coursed through Paul. Though uncertain how the wolf might react to a human, he knew time was of the essence. One wrong movement could plunge the animal to certain injury, if not worse. Step by careful step, he approached, hand raised in a gesture of calm, soft words escaping his lips. The wolf's golden eyes flashed with fear and pain, but something in Paul's gentle presence made it pause, as though sensing help. Rather than harm, Paul knelt slowly at the edge, debris shifting beneath his weight. Close enough to see the wolf's rapid breathing, he carefully extended a hand. The wolf bared its teeth in a low growl, trembling with both pain and uncertainty. Yet Paul didn't recoil. Instead, he spoke softly, words spilling out in a reassuring tone. "Easy there. I'm here to help." It was a delicate dance. Too sudden a move might provoke the wolf's fight or flight, but if he hesitated too long, the unstable stones could give way. Mustering his courage, Paul inched closer. Eventually, the wolf quieted its growl and locked eyes with him. In that silent exchange, Paul sensed a fragile acceptance, a moment of trust, bridging the wild instinct of the animal and the empathy of the human. Determined to free the wolf, Paul examined the rock wedge. Rainwater had eroded the cliffside, causing stones to shift into a tight vise around the animal's leg. Summoning the same focus he once used behind the wheel of a race car or on a film set, he wedged his shoulder against a loose boulder. With a firm push, he tried to dislodge it. Sweat broke across his brow from the exertion, the cold wind biting at his skin. The wolf whimpered each time the rocks moved, but Paul pressed on. Slowly, the stones began to shift. A small gap formed just wide enough for him to lift the wolf's leg free. The creature pulled away, staggering as it tried to stand. Fearful of the next reaction, Paul braced himself. Would the wolf flee or turn on him? For a tense moment, the newly freed wolf limped backward, ears flattened. Paul stayed as still as possible, adrenaline pulsing through him. With a tentative sniff, the wolf seemed to sense no threat. Slowly, it began to limp away, favoring its injured leg before turning back for one last look, a silent acknowledgement of the one who had saved it. Then it disappeared into the thick pines, the echoes of distant birds gradually filling the silence. Paul exhaled, feeling a surge of relief and something deeper. He realized he'd come here hoping to reconnect with nature, to escape the rush of daily life. Yet, in rescuing this wild creature, he'd rediscovered his own capacity for compassion and courage. This wasn't just about being a hero for a moment, it was about reaffirming the value of every living being. As Paul made his way down the mountain, the sky began to clear, revealing patches of blue and the faint warmth of midday sun. Each step felt lighter, as though he'd shed the weight of worry and distraction that had followed him into the wilderness. Though physically fatigued, he brimmed with a renewed sense of purpose, reminded that even the smallest acts of kindness can illuminate our shared humanity and deepen our bond with the natural world. He later recounted the story to close friends, but didn't seek fanfare. For him, it was a private moment of transformation, a reminder that life's most meaningful experiences often unfold far from the public eye. He was an extraordinary actor and an even more remarkable human being dedicated to helping others, both on and off the screen. We remember his gentle spirit and compassion. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.